Liella, what are we doing?
Going outside.
Why?
Because.
Alright. It's snowing. And my lovely husband got a deer. So Grant is just now gutting the deer. He brought it home from where he was hunting because he had to drag it so far. And he just didn't feel like gutting it where he was at. Warning, you're going to see a opened up deer. Well, how was it, honey? Was it a good shot at least? Huh?
She didn't run forward, just ran the wrong direction.
How gross that is.
You're not saying that when you're eating it.
Give me a hatchet, please.
Grant, what number deer is this? Number 5. Daddy's been gutting deer since he was, what, 12? Viewer discretion advised.
Where is it?
Wait, where's the heart? There's the heart. Can you see it? Yep.
You want to shoot a deer one day, Liella?
Can you put your hood up? No?
No.
You will?
I'm not shooting a deer.
If Mommy can go hunting and kill a deer, you're definitely going to be able to do it.
Dad! I'm not. I'm telling you. Dad! Yeah.
Compost pile is right there behind Grant. There we go. Good job, honey.
Mommy. Yeah.
We will not be needing to buy beef this year.
Mommy.
There we go. Good job, honey. All right. We'll be back in the garage once he gets to hanging it. Brr. It's so cold. Oh, look at her. Real quick, I'm going to show you a sneak peek of those garden beds I've been telling you guys about. You turd. Hit me with the snowball. Oh, there they are. Woo. Okay, we're just waiting for the hubby to come in here so that he can hang his deer. Don't mind the messy garage. The wench on the 4-wheeler. Uh-oh. But he hooked his plow up to the 4-wheeler, which is connected to the winch.
The winch?
Winch?
Alright. We gotta find some more ties off that.
What do you usually tie it off at?
4-wheeler. So what we'll do is try. Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. Try to get it to her little 4-wheeler.
Why don't we bring that 4-wheeler closer first?
Kind of pull it closer.
Work smart, not hard. Ooh! I lift things up and put things down. Oh my gosh! There ain't no way I'm gonna be able to hold this and tie it at the same time.
Help her hold that.
Hillbillies are us. Oh boy. Oh geez, George.
Yeah. Hey, watch the blood, bud.
Uh-oh. Alright, good job, honey.
Alright, so I recently shot a deer the other day during archery, and I have a bunch of meat because this was my 5th deer. So what I planned on doing with this deer was, the majority of it we're making jerky, deer jerky. That was going to help. I don't have a set recipe on the marinade that we use. I kind of just throw everything together. Common ingredients are soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and then I just throw different rubs and stuff in to marinate it. I don't do a whole lot of hot in my jerky because the kids love jerky, and I don't want it too spicy for them. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get the marinade mixed up, and then what I do is I partially freeze the meat that I'm using, just because it when you slice it, it gives a cleaner and more uniform slice for the jerky. So we'll get started on mixing the marinade. She's going to mix the marinade, and I'm going to get the meat ready to start slicing. So what we have, we're using 1 bottle of soy sauce, a bottle of Worcestershire sauce, a bottle of teriyaki marinade, and it was like a quarter to half a bottle of the Old Bay hot sauce. The rub I have is a Holy Cow meat church rub. It's a barbecue rub. I'll also throw a little bit of red pepper flakes in there, some onion powder, and brown sugar, and a little bit of liquid smoke. We'll get the slicer going. I try to slice the meat about a 1/4 inch thick. That gives it a good consistency for jerky.
Strong. Dad.
It's a little too thick, so I'm going to narrow it down a little bit.
Dad, do you want me to dip them in here?
Yep, I'll hand them to you, and you can throw them in the marinade.
And just keep them in there, or do you want me to take them out?
Just keep them in there. Alright, so as we got started, we forgot to add the brown sugar to the marinade, so I was going to go ahead and add that, stir it all up. Again, I don't have precise measurements, I just kind of throw everything together. The meat that I have, I got from the hind quarter of the deer. We cut it, deboned it yesterday, and trimmed it up, got all the fat and the silver skin off of it, so it's ready to get into strips today. So we're going to go back to slicing and putting it in the marinade. So here's a kind of close-up view of the meat and the thickness that I try to keep with. Now that we have all the jerky in the marinade, I give it a good mixing, and we'll take it down. We'll cover it, take it down, refrigerate it, and then every 4 to 5 hours, I try to go down and mix it up again. Just like I said, to make everything saturated as much as we can as it marinades. And then tomorrow, we'll take it out, put it in dehydrator, and dehydrate it. Alright, so we're back here today. We have had the jerky marinating for about 24 hours. We have the dehydrator set up over here in the corner. Dell, Avery, and I are putting the meat on the tray and then transferring it into the dehydrator. I have a Cabela's dehydrator. It's a 10-tray dehydrator. It's kind of small. I won't get all the meat on this first batch. I'll probably have to do 2 or 3 batches of the jerky with the dehydrator. So we're getting the meat on the tray. Once we get the meat on the tray, we'll transfer it over, turn the dehydrator on, get it going, and then once we're finished with the trays, filling the 10 trays up, we just let it go, and I'll check it every so often. Usually takes about 4 hours in this dehydrator to get the meat done. All right. When putting the jerky on the tray, I try to keep them as close as possible, but leaving little room in between for the air to circulate. This dehydrator, the fan is in the back of it, so it kind of equally heats. Some other dehydrators, like previous ones I had, the fan were in the top or the bottom, and it would work from whatever direction through the dehydrator. So sometimes the top trays would finish first, or the bottom trays would finish first, or you would have to rotate them. This dehydrator, you don't have to rotate trays since it's in the back. and it's spread out through all 10 trays. I was just telling the kids, putting this on is kind of like a puzzle. You try to want to get the most on there that you can without putting too much on there, so there's enough room for the air to work through the dehydrator. All right, I have this tray filled up, so I'm going to go ahead and get it into the dehydrator. I'll try something different. We have these last 2 trays. We're getting filled up. Once we get those filled up, we'll get them in the dehydrator, get the dehydrator shut up, and I'll wait about 2 hours. I'll check it just to see how the meat is. It usually takes about 4 hours to complete the dehydration for the jerky, and then we'll get back on, show you the first batch, and then we'll work on refilling the trays up for the next batch of jerky. All right, so we were able to get some off the dehydrator. Shannon wasn't here when it was ready, so we weren't able to do it, video it as we were doing it. But here's the finished product. It's dried out. The kids love it. It's not too hot. It does have a little spice to it, but not a whole lot. I still have about half a dehydrator full from the second batch that we put in, and it should be done in the next 3 or 4 hours probably. So kids, they love it.
I just took a bite of it.
Got good taste to it.
Not much more.
I'll take this bag and I'll break it down. I'll put it in vacuum bags and seal it, and then freeze whatever we're not eating at the time and pull it out as we need it. I mean, see, like when we first cut it, it was about a 1/4 inch. You can see it's down to like an 1/8 of an inch. So it dries out and shrinks up pretty good. So, and we probably got a good 2 pounds of jerky out of the 1 hind quarter of deer. All right, well, we appreciate you watching the process that it took to make the jerky, and please like and subscribe to the video, and we'll be with you next time on our next adventure.